the day of the release, and he hasn't seen the film yet.
Oh my God!
You know, he was so nervous during the screening, him and my sister both, that they sat outside and they didn't see the film. But he's going to go see it soon. The stars, you know, Sunny sir is an absolute legend. Varun is a superstar in his own right, and Diljit is now a global superstar. So you can't prep for a moment like that. Extremely supportive. I think from the younger generation, Mizan and Veer, they've been extremely supportive of me. I remember I called them for the screening and they said, no, we're going to Gaiety Galaxy. Who had put up a reel saying that, you know, if Ahan Shetty comments on this reel, I'll take my family and friends to watch Border with my own salary. And one of my friends...
On a ratometer, like, where's the confidence now today?
Now, I mean, I'd still say I'm at like a 5-6. Certain things work out, but I think that was just also because of certain things that happened behind the scenes in terms of being completely honest and vulnerable here. I was very low on confidence, even going into the filming process of this film. So to be able to see everything just transpire.
Hi, this is Farzeen and welcome to India Today. I have with me Ahan Shetty, who recently impressed us as Lieutenant Commander MS Rawat in Border 2. Ahan, welcome to India Today.
Thank you for having me.
How's the last few days been for you ever since the film released?
The last few days have been very overwhelming. You know, I was extremely nervous before, but I think after Friday and all the reactions we've been getting and all the love that has been pouring in for the entire cast and the film, I'm feeling a lot better.
Yeah.
I'm very happy right now.
And tell me, how did it feel when you had the first screening of Border 2? Just to see your hard work being transpired on screen this way. How did that feel?
Again, just a surreal moment for me. Very overwhelmed. Prior to that, I was, like I said earlier, I was just very nervous. Also just coming off of a very long gap. So just being completely honest and vulnerable here, I was very low on confidence, even going into the filming process of this film. So to be able to see everything just transpire and just come on screen, it felt really good.
And I don't know if I've actually commented that share this reel and Ahan, I'll get an interview with Ahan Shetty, but you managed to grab him. But Ahan, how did that trend come in picture? That was all viral on social media.
Yeah, no, it was actually, there was this girl, Kajal, who had put up a reel saying that, you know, if Ahan Shetty comments on this reel, I'll take my family and friends to watch Border with my own salary. And one of my friends sent me that reel and I said, "Arey, this is so sweet."
Yeah.
And I just commented saying, you know, don't do that. I'll pay for your friends and family and I'll send them to watch Border 2. And then from there, it just kind of blew up. And, you know, there's so much love and support coming in. And if there's, you know, if I can make someone's day by just commenting, you know, why not?
Yeah. But many also kind of felt that it was maybe a promotional strategy. You were doing it just to maybe create that buzz.
Yeah. I mean, I can see where that comes from. And it did help in terms of promotion. And, you know, it worked both ways. We got promotion from the film and I was just genuinely commenting on people's posts. A lot of people were like, oh, he must have hired a PR team or, you know, a certain team to be messaging, but no one has control over my social media. That's me. And I've always said it, like, I like to be honest as a person. I like to be honest to my audience and whoever my fans may be. I like to be honest to them. So I would never let or allow someone else to message them. It has to come from me. It has to come from the heart. And that's just how I went about those things.
Do you have a number, like how many reels you replied to?
I can't give you that number, but it was quite a few.
Yes, and a lot of fans also felt that we saw very little of you in Border 2. We wanted, I think, maybe a little more about MS Rawat's life and his experiences. Did you also feel that, and were scenes cut? Like, tell us more about that.
I mean, yes, certain things work out, but I think that was just also because of certain things that happened behind the scenes in terms of VFX and stuff. But that's a part and parcel of being a part of this industry. I think what's more important is that overall the film has done well. And if a film does well, the actors and the directors and the producers get credit for it. So I'm just enjoying this moment. I don't want to think too much about, you know, what could have been. I'm just trying to focus on what will be, you know.
And you, of course, spoke about how you were low on confidence when you started filming it. And given that it had Sunny, Diljit, Varun, like all stars in their own spaces. And tell me, what was going on in your mind when you, like, the first day on shoot? Like, how did you prep for it? And how did it all transpire?
See, I don't think you can ever prep for it because you can prep as much as you want, but then when you come on set and you're surrounded by these three superstars, you know, Sunny sir is an absolute legend, Varun is a superstar in his own right, and Diljit is now a global superstar. So you can't prep for a moment like that. I was extremely nervous. I think the first 2 days I was very, very nervous. But then, you know, Sunny sir, Varun and Diljit sir were extremely loving, extremely supportive of me and really pushed me to kind of come out of my comfort zone. And I think that really, really helped. And obviously my director as well, Anurag sir, my producers, Bhushan sir, Nidhi Didi, Binoy, Shiv sir, all of them, they've been extremely supportive. Also, to my producers, I'd want to say that, you know, just having one film in throughout my career, and to be handed this responsibility of Murder 2, that just showed the amount that they, you know, believed in me, they trusted me. So I'm very, very grateful to them. And so again, extremely nervous at the start, but the entire team really pushed me and really made me feel comfortable throughout the process of filming.
Absolutely. But was it also a fear, Ahan, because you know that they are such bigger stars than you, of course, and given how Border is a multicast, there would be stories individually. Were there any kind of apprehension that how much of screen time will I get? No? Not
at all, because for me, I was coming off of a 4-year waiting period. So for me, I was like, I'm being able to be a part of such a huge film, so I'm not even going to think about all of that. You know, again, low on confidence, and I think just being a part of this film has really helped me understand, you know, why I wanted to be an actor and what an actor's journey truly is. So yeah, again, very grateful. I appreciate everything that my producers have done for me, and my director, and all of them, Sunny sir, Varun, Diljit, even Mona ma'am, Medha, Anya, Sonam, all of them. They've been incredibly supportive of me, and I really appreciate that. And again, low on confidence, I didn't feel like I could, you know, shoulder an entire film. So to have this film as my second film was very, very important for me.
So on a ratometer, like, where's the confidence now today?
Now, I mean, I'd still say I'm at like a 5-6. You know, I don't want to be too overconfident.
That's a great thing.
You know, in this industry, anything can happen. I always say that one Friday can really change your life. And I think, in a way, this Friday, last Friday, really changed mine. And I'm, you know, I've just kind of let go of what I can't control. Whatever is to happen will happen now. And I'm just enjoying this entire process.
Do you remember which was your first scene that you did on set?
Yeah, there was one scene which isn't part of the film. It's a scene of Varun, Diljit and I. And it was supposed to be at the end of the movie where Varun is running and he sees the two of us as spirits. So that was a very, very interesting scene. But I think then we added the Gurdwara scene at the end, which is a lot more powerful. So yeah, certain things happen for a reason. So, you know.
Yeah, you guys ran a lot, of course, in the film.
We did. Anurag sir made us run a lot.
But tell me about your preparation for playing an army officer. You need to have a certain physique, the certain personality. Like, how much did you train? Tell us more about that.
So before Border, I was supposed to do a film Sanki with Sergeant Nadirwala, which then didn't happen. And for that film, I had bulked up quite a bit. I had put on a lot of muscle. And then when I met Anurag sir, he said, no, like a Navy officer, you know, he can't have that kind of body, so you'll have to cut down. So I managed to cut down around 8 kilos. And that process took around 6 months. And then again, playing a Navy officer, there's a certain responsibility that you carry. So I met a lot of Navy officers, and I met a lot of people from the Army and the Air Force, and, you know, just to understand their demeanor, their body language, the way they speak. And then in the film, I also had a lot of underwater sequences that we shot. So what we had done for that sequence is we had submerged an entire set in a pool, we were around 15-20 feet underwater, and the top was completely covered because we had to control lighting. So we had a dive team with us underwater. So before the shot, I would have my oxygen and my mask on, and when Anurag sir, I'd hear him on the mic underwater saying, okay, Ahan, oxygen off, mask off, let's do the shot. So mask off, oxygen off, give the shot, and then as soon as I'd need oxygen, a diver would come up and give me oxygen. So we trained for 2-3 days to kind of understand our surroundings and how to, manage a situation if something were to go wrong. But I think everything went smoothly. We had a great dive team, the Orca dive team, which really supported us throughout this filming process.
Was it scary?
See, the thing is, I've trained for diving. I have my PADI license.
Okay.
I'm a good swimmer, so I wasn't really scared, and I knew the dive team were there, to help us if anything went wrong. So yeah, no, it was a great process. I think it's something new for me, and I really enjoyed it.
And tell me, of course, border itself is such a big legacy to be handed over to you, and especially when your father is also part of it. What was his reaction when you told him that things are done with border? So, yes.
No, he's just, throughout the whole process, he's been incredibly supportive, and he's always told me just be honest with your work and just work hard. So once things were done, obviously he did get emotional. When he saw the first teaser, he was emotional. When every asset was coming out, he was just getting more and more emotional up until the day of the release, and he hasn't seen the film yet.
Oh my God!
He was so nervous during the screening. Him and my sister both, that they sat outside and they didn't see the film. But he's going to go see it soon.
Right.
Athiya watched it. She just wanted to watch it alone, and I felt like she was taking on more pressure than I was during the release. But yeah, everyone really enjoyed it. They were all emotional. They had a good time.
Yeah. But was it the family who kind of gave you that confidence to go out and shoot Border 2?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. My family has been extremely supportive of me and have always been there for me. Yeah, it was a tough period. Those 4 years that were extremely tough. There were certain things in my personal life that had happened as well that, kind of threw me completely off balance. But yeah, I think my friends, my family have just been that rock for me, that foundation for me, and they've only helped me grow and become a better person. And I feel like I am the person I am today because of that journey I've had over the last few years.
Right. And do you remember anything about when you saw Border for the first time?
I was very young when it released. I was around 1.5 years, 2 years old. But I think when I properly watched it and understood it, I was around 4 or 5 years old. I just remember falling in love with the Indian Armed Forces, and that was my dream initially.
Oh, wow.
To join the Indian Armed Forces. And then somewhere along the line in school, when I started drama, is when I fell in love with acting. And I think I've always wanted to be able to somehow represent our armed forces in a way. And I guess
what better way
than this? It's just a small tribute to them, and just a big thank you to them for what they do for us.
Right.
At the end of the day, we are here because of them.
Absolutely.
So yeah, salute to all armed forces members.
And of course, people did draw comparisons with Bhairav Singh, Sunil's part. Yes. And they also saw how identical you look like him, like completely your dad's son.
Right.
Right. Did you hear all of those?
Yeah, even, that a lot of people ask me about the pressure and the responsibility that comes with that. I knew those comparisons were going to be made, but I tried not to let that pressure get to me. So I just did my best and just was honest to myself and honest in terms of my performance, and just wanted to be honest to my audience as well. And I think I did a decent enough job.
And in an emotional way, but you did get to share the screen with him in the climax.
I did, yes. We had to be very hush-hush about that. A lot of people would ask, like, oh, are you and your dad ever thinking about sharing screen space? And we were like, yeah, maybe one day. And then obviously to be able to do it in a film like Border, that means a lot. And
Shakti, Ma Shakti, that dialogue also has been, of course, brought back. Did you know about it? That, of course, it's been done. And
I did. I think when I first heard the narration of the film, Anurag sir had given me the narration, and that was a part of the film. And I remember being like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? Like, how am I going to live up to what Dad did?
Yes.
But again, I think I managed to do a good job.
Yeah.
At least that's what, the audience reaction has been.
I have some photos of you, Ahan, and of course, this is from the screening.
Yes.
So, you told us that Sunil hasn't watched the film, but what about your mother? What did she say?
Mom was very emotional. I remember after the screening was done, I was walking down and she was, because I was watching it from the top row, and she had already come down and she was just looking at me smiling, and she had tears in her eyes, and she just gave me the biggest hug. And I mean, and that was enough for me.
Sweet.
Like, I just understood what that meant.
And of course, Athiya and Rahul.
Oh, yeah. Rahul saw the film. He loved it. He absolutely loved it. Athiya was, again, like I said earlier, she was too nervous to watch the film. But I mean, they've been, supporting me since day one. And I absolutely love them.
And what about your niece? Has she seen a few glimpses of
No, she hasn't. She
no
hasn't
screen
seen.
time
No
for
screen time. She's only 10 months old, so no screen time. But we've made her hear the songs. She really enjoys Ghar Kab Aoge.
Oh.
So that means a lot.
Amazing. I have some childhood pictures of you. Like,
Oh my
what are you
God.
doing? I think
Okay.
we'll put that on the screen. But what's happening here?
So it's a very weird thing that I used to do is I used to drink water from a little beaker.
Okay.
And for some reason, I always used to play with an earbud. It was just something that would calm me down. So yeah, I think I'm just on my dad's lap. Yeah, and then this, I think Dad was shooting. I think we were in Ooty here.
Yeah, it looks
Dad
like
was,
a train or something.
Yeah. So I think Dad was shooting, and whenever we had the chance to go, we'd go and we'd go on set. Okay, this is I want to say my 5th or 6th birthday at home.
Okay.
That's my cousin Shane, Mom, Dad, Athiya, and I remember right after this, they took out the candles and they shoved my face in the cake.
Oh.
So yeah, this is that moment.
This is, I think, some.
This again, Dad shooting. Dad was filming. I'm not sure which film this was, and I remember it was very windy.
Oh.
And Athiya and Mom were hugging each other, and I was freezing. So Dad just took off his jacket and gave it to me. And
so while growing up, you all knew that your dad is an actor. What it means to be an actor?
Yeah, I think we did, but at the same time, he kept us away from the entire limelight and stuff. So we knew he was an actor, but we didn't realize how big of a star he was until much, much later on. So yeah, that was very interesting how Mom and Dad kind of managed that.
Yeah.
And I'm very grateful that they did that. Oh, this is my Nani, and this was my first birthday. She's someone who, I mean, she passed away in 2007, but I mean, everything that I am today is because of her, and everything that I believe in is because of her.
I'm sure she must be really happy seeing this. This
is Athiya's wedding. Yes, this is when Athiya and I walked out.
Yeah, how was it like growing up with a sister? Like, tell me about that.
I think growing up with a sister, like having an older sister, to me was very, very important. I think I got to learn about life a lot more. I think I got to know about, how to treat women and respect women a lot more because of my older sister, and also just seeing how Dad and Mom are as a couple. How Dad is with my mother. I think a lot of life lessons were learned just by seeing, and obviously Athiya is a mother now, so.
This is a scene that was very special, of course, that picture.
This is the scene where my daughter gives me the painting of Devi Ma, and very, very powerful, very emotional scene. And this kind of sets up, what happens. I really enjoyed filming the scene.
And I remember that song,
Tochalu,
that tune starts through this, and it has always been my favorite song. And I had goosebumps when that tune started playing.
So I think the music and this scene, this just kind of shows our camaraderie and how we actually were on set with one another.
I think the academy part must have been a blast.
We had so much fun shooting, and I think because the three of us got along so well, that's what came off on screen. So we had a great time shooting this portion, and even this song, we had a great time. Ganesh ji choreographed this song, and he's fantastic.
I think there's another picture of you.
This is actually that scene, the first scene that we shot of the three of us running. So this was that day. This was my first shot of Border 2.
I think it just.
And then this is just the three of us together. And
this, of course, was special.
Of course, this was very, very special. This was when Sunny sir and I went to Gaiety Galaxy, and just to see the love and support for the film, and to see Sunny sir's stardom, it was special.
But
it was very.
Gaiety is a vibe, I'm sure.
Oh, Gaiety is a vibe. You have I think for any actor to go to Gaiety and see that kind of reaction for their film, it's a very, very special one, and I'll never forget this moment.
Amazing. I think that's the last one. Remember this?
This is Tadap. Yeah, this was again. This was the first scene that I ever shot for Tadap.
Wow.
It was the theatre scene where I'm looking at Tara's video. So yeah, this was my first scene, and I mean, this was my first scene I ever shot in Bollywood, I guess you could say.
Amazing. But tell me, Ahan, of course, it's been around 5 years that you've not been on screen. You spoke about being on low on confidence. What about the industry? Where there conversations happening that didn't materialize? Like, how was things shaping up when it comes to work?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of that, I was tied down to a contract and wasn't allowed to really work outside of that contract. And yeah, it was tough. It was very difficult. You know, a lot of offers were coming, but I wasn't allowed to do anything. And then obviously was going to do a film called Sanki. That also didn't happen because, you know, I think it was 2 days before we started filming, my two directors got into a little altercation, I guess you could say, and then the producer kind of put his hands up and said, I can't do this. And that's when I got bored. And that's when I kind of said that, you know, I need to work.
Absolutely.
I need to do something. I can't just sit and wait and wait. So that's when Border came, and that's why I keep saying that I really appreciate, and I'm very grateful to Nidhi Didi and Bhushan sir for giving me this opportunity and supporting me the way that they did. But yeah, and then there were certain articles when I said that I'm going to do Border and I don't want to do Sanki, there were certain articles that came out saying that, oh, Sanki is not happening because of Ahan's entourage cost is too high. I mean, I don't know what entourage cost I have. I'm sure T-Series will be able to tell you. But yeah, I mean, those were all fabricated to go against me. And at the end of the day, I always believe that you know, truth prevails. And I think I didn't want to say anything at that point. I just wanted to keep quiet and just let my work speak.
Yeah.
And that's what I did.
Right. I'll ask you about this more, but I also wanted to ask you, we don't talk much about how unfair it is to sign an actor and just bound them with a contract for multiple years, and then there's nothing happening, but they can't work outside.
Right.
How do you look at this trend? And I mean, of course, you had your father who had that experience, but you still fell for it. So how does one kind of safeguard their career through this?
See, the thing is, initially when I signed that contract, I thought it was safety. You know, being offered 4 films. I mean, for every actor, it's a huge deal, and I thought I was safe and I was secure in that contract. And I think what kind of let me down is that I just felt that that particular producer didn't really support me and didn't have my back when things went wrong. I mean, I appreciate everything that he's done for me, and you know, he gave me Tadap, and even with Tadap, like, he waited for that theatrical release, and I will forever be grateful for that. But at the end of the day, like, you know, certain situations weren't in my control. Like, we came out peak COVID, December 2021. You know, we were 50% capacity for the first 3 days, and
the
dropped
second
to
wave had just come in.
Yeah, Omicron had just come in. You know, after 3 days, we dropped down to 25% capacity. We lost 4 states, but the film still managed to do 40 crores at a time where people weren't going to cinemas. A lot of big actors' films weren't working at that time, and as a newcomer to hit 40 crores at a period like that was huge. But then, I guess after that support didn't come in, and I kind of felt a little let down. You know, I've seen other producers back their talent like no other, and will go out of their way to do things for them. So I guess that's where the underconfident, like, I was low on confidence and just didn't feel like, you know, I was being supported. But at the end of the day, you live and you learn. There's no growth without pain, and I am where I am now because of that journey I've had. So I appreciate that. I don't have any regrets. You know, like I said earlier, like, I am who I am now because of what I went through, and I wouldn't want to change that. I think everything that happened was also to kind of prepare me for what is to come. And that's how I'm just taking it right now.
But of course, Sunil has said it in public about what you went through, but you've always kept a very stoic silence on it. What was the reason behind that, Ahan?
Again, I just didn't feel the need to speak. I felt that my work will do the talking.
Yeah.
In a time of social media, a lot of people want to go out there and say things. I don't believe in that. I feel like the people who know the truth are the ones who deserve to know the truth. The people who, are going to criticize you without knowing the truth, let them, because they don't know what is actually happening in an actor's life. And I'm not just talking about me. I feel like there's a lot of criticism for the younger generation, and people don't understand what goes on in their life. You also need to understand that they're human. They're going through certain things, you know. But I guess that's just the world we live in right now. And I've always been a private person. I don't find it necessary to go out there and make statements. When I need to, I will. But yeah, for me, when a film comes out is when I'll talk about myself, and I'll talk about my film, and I'll promote the film as much as I can. But when it comes down to personal attacks, I find it very petty.
Yes.
There are certain journalists, they call themselves journalists at least, that try to put me down without knowing the truth. So that's why I question, like, if you're truly a journalist, shouldn't you find facts and kind of understand both sides of the story? But I mean, it is what it is.
But I also feel the times are such that negativity sells, like what happened with Varun before the release. That was so surprising.
And now, there's that new trend, Varun bhai ko sorry bol. And I think it's true, because I mean, he's done a fantastic job, and they criticized him without seeing anything. And he's a phenomenal actor, and he's been in the industry for so many years now, and time and again proved himself. So again, like you said earlier, negativity sells, and that's the world we're living in. But hats off to him. He's done a fantastic job, and he's proving it. He's proving his haters wrong.
Right. And you rightly mentioned about the articles that came about your entourage chaos that has just kind of... but of course, because I think you've grown up with Sunil around, I think you understand how things function. I mean...
my food comes from home, my water comes from home, so I don't understand what entourage costs is. Like, if I mean, they said, he has a personal chef and this and that. I do have a personal chef. I have a lot of, allergies and gut issues, so I do have a personal chef, but that is all paid for by us. I'm not putting that on production at all. I have a trainer. You want me to look a certain way on screen. I have a trainer with me. Again, production is not taking care of that. I'm taking care of that. So, I mean, they needed to target someone and, have a reason as to why the film didn't happen, and I was the scapegoat at that point, and whatever, I'll take it.
Yeah, but when lies are peddled, I mean, it must be frustrating, absolutely.
Honestly, over the last 2-3 years, I've been through a lot. Even in my personal life, when certain things happened, there was a lot said about me, which wasn't true. It is what it is. I don't have time to sit and, have these small fights on Instagram and do all these things. Like, I'm not that petty. I'll live my life the way I want to. And that's just how I am.
Have you had time to sit and decide what's next for you? I'm sure there must be a few conversations happening.
I'm just taking things as they come right now. There are a lot of, directors and producers who have reached out, but I'm just kind of basking in what has happened with Border right now. Just kind of want to take things slowly, don't want to rush. I believe in quality over quantity. And I've had such a long gap. So I don't want to jump into anything for the sake of, I don't want to sign films for the sake of signing films. I want to do what I believe in and what I feel is right. So I think with time, I'll kind of decide what is next. And there are a few projects that I've signed, and I'm very excited for them.
And lastly, I want to ask you any specific message that came after Border 2 that just kind of still remains special for you?
No specific message, but just overall the amount of love and support that I'm receiving, because of the gap, for people to still say that, I've supported you since startup, and now to see you in Border 2, it meant a lot to them. And also just a lot of messages about me carrying my father's legacy forward in the right way. I think that's something that really touched me, and that made me feel good.
Right. Anyone from the industry reached out?
I mean, a lot of people. I don't want to single anyone out and say any, A lot of people did, and
Yes.
everyone has been extremely, extremely supportive. I think from the younger generation, Mizan and Veer, they've been extremely supportive of me. I remember I called them for the screening, and they said, "No, we're going to Gaiety Galaxy.
Oh.
We want to go see that crowd reaction." And they went, and Veer was sending me videos from Gaiety Galaxy, and Milap sir was sending me videos from Gaiety Galaxy.
That's so cool.
So their support also means a lot, and
Absolutely.
I think they genuinely feel very, very happy for me.
Big career lesson that your father gave you.
Big career lesson that my father gave me.
I'm sure he gives you a lot of life lessons. But yeah.
He's always told me that one Friday changes everything. For me, initially when Tadap came out, I saw that high. And then after that, the 4 years of just absolutely nothing. So I've seen that low as well right after that. And then with Border coming out, this one Friday has changed things for me as well. So for an actor, Friday to Friday changes things for you. And you can see that with Ranveer as well. His last few films didn't do very well, and I mean, you see what a fantastic job every single one of them have done in Dhurandhar. And Ranveer is, I don't think he had gone anywhere, but everyone's saying that he's back. But yeah, I don't think he's back. He's always been there. But
it's like Border 2 versus Dhurandhar right now, box office.
But I mean, I think I'm just glad that all films are doing well. People are going back to the theaters, and that's where, for us Indians at least, that's where entertainment really belongs. So I'm glad that people are just going back, and all films are doing well.
As an industry, it's a great thing, of course.
It's a great
now
thing.
Then there's Dhurandhar 2 also, I think.
Exactly. And I think Dhurandhar 2 is just going to absolutely smash box office records, and I'm very, very happy for all of them.
True.